experience has evolved over last couple of maybe a decade or so. Like, walk us through how is the industry shaping up to serve more human, and rather than expecting humans to serve the technology.
Sure. So one of the things I think is central to the field of human experience is the growth of the exponential growth of technology, right? And that is, to your point, in the last couple of decades, we've seen just so much advancement in technology, data analytics, and artificial intelligence. And I think we've all benefited from that, right? The fact that you and I could do this right now over video is one of the ways in which we're all benefiting from that technology. But I think one of the offshoots is this explosion technologically has created what I call human experience debt, which is very similar to technical debt, which is just accumulated over time, or financial debt, which is accumulated over time. Human experience debt is the way in which our technology can make us feel less human and more disconnected from the things that matter most to us and give us meaning in our lives.
I think that's beautifully put. So we were having a brief conversation before we started, that I'm from a data science world. I'm from the world where we say, okay, listen to data, right? Data never lies. Data has everything, and over the time we have seen the problem with that analysis, right? Obviously data does tell the truth, but as long as the data sources are adequately picked and all that. And when you talk about the human experience, right? When you talk about how technology or human experience that technology is serving, right? Deloitte is a major support when it comes to educating the market, when it comes to how the digital is impacting the world, or how we should be shaping. So when you look at that role, when you look at your role as a chief digital officer for an organization, chief experience officer of an organization, what are you seeing that what are some of the things that you see in the industry that people are doing it wrong, or we should do it differently, or what are some of your observations?
Yeah, my observation is that it shouldn't be data for its own sake, right? And I think you mentioned this. We always need to make sure that we're aware of the humans selecting the data and the biases and everything that they bring to the table, because we know that there's the whole question of ethical tech and ethical data. And then, importantly, on the other side, for whom the data is serving, right? And to make sure that we understand that there are humans on the other side of that data, and that we never lose sight of them. So for me, it's not a question of is it a data-led approach or an insight-led approach, or is it a human approach? I really think the answer is both. And how do we use a focus on the human experience and insights to kind of let us be more human at scale?
And if you look at the current scenario, we've just been through a massive pandemic, lockdowns, things are coming up, and I think over last 1.5 year has been tormenting when it comes to the human aspect, or the work aspect, or the personal aspect. And technology has taken the grounds, right? Because we are more relying on technology. We are now learning we are again getting back to the tangling of we are now more empathetic towards technology, right? Because we were more adaptive, so from your vantage point, how has the experience landscape evolved from your perspective over this pandemic span?
So as I think about that, and again, the fact that we're doing this, and we're still very much in the middle of the pandemic, and that technology has made it possible to connect in ways that we never thought possible before, and Zoom birthday parties and Zoom weddings, and as well as Zoom doctor visits that we might not have otherwise had even a year and a half ago. So technology has absolutely made our lives better off, and we are still experiencing that human experience debt. We are still living through that sense, that time of burnout, or that feeling of lack of connection, because we all know we don't get quite the same energy, quite the same feeling as you and I having a conversation in the room. or with your listeners together with us in the room, as we would through the use of technology. So I do think technology is absolutely something that we've benefited from, but we need to more consciously invest in the connections that make us feel more human.